And now raise your hand if you're capable of feeling anger right now. See, this is the amazing power of cats. It can make anybody's day as long as he or she is not allergic to them. But looks are not all that cats have to them, and that's why today I'm going to talk to you about the history of how they became domesticated, their distinct physical characteristics, and their role in our lives today. First of all, the history of how cats became domesticated is quite interesting. According to K. Chris Hirsch, who is an American archaeologist, the proper scientific term for cats, as we know them today, is Felis sylvestris catus. And they descend from 5 different wild species: the Sardinian wildcat, the European wildcat, the Chinese desert cat, sub-Saharan African wildcat, and the Central Asian wildcat. And actually there are records of cats as far back as the Neolithic era. They were in Cyprus as far back as 8,000 years ago. And according to National Geographic, Egyptians, there are recordings of cats in Egyptian societies as far back as 4,000 years ago. And there are many art paintings, and actually there are sculptures too. This is an Egyptian goddess in the form of a cat. And an interesting fact is that Egyptians actually used to mummify cats to go with the pharaohs. But so that the cat wouldn't be bored in the afterlife, they would also mummify mice to go with them. So it's kind of like contemporary crazy cat ladies, except instead of doing this, the pharaohs just made sure that they would never be separated from their cats. According to archaeologist A.J. Baldwin, wildcats were first attracted to human settlements by the small rodents who themselves came to feed on the agricultural source. So basically, the humans allowed cats to hang around them as long as the mice and all the other rodents couldn't get to their food. And that basically satisfied both sides, because the humans got to keep their food while the cats got to hunters. And actually that is the reason why many farms and rural households keep cats today, such as my grandparents, because that way they don't have anything running around the house. As you can see, the history of how cats became domesticated is quite interesting. And now I'm going to talk to you about their physical characteristics. So cats come in all shapes and sizes, and according to International Progressive Cat Breeders Alliance, there's more than 73 breeds of cats today. And actually more are still being discovered, because when you mix different breeds, they, instead of just naming them from the both breeds, they just come up with a new name. And cats actually vary in size from 10 to 25 pounds, according to the Association for Pet Obesity Prevention. So they can they can look like that or like that. But the thing is, you don't want your cat to be too obese, because then they have heart problems, they have liver problems. Actually, my aunt had a cat who was 40 pounds and she died of liver failure. So another variation of cats are the munchkin cats, or the short-legged cats. And they, that's just a genetic variation. So they're usually the same size as regular cats, their legs are just a lot shorter. The fur length on cats varies from almost bald in the Sphinx cats to basically a bundle of fur in the Himalayan and the Persian cats. And there are many different colors of fur. They range from snow white to all the way to black, and there's brown, yellow, orange, anything in between really. And these two breeds actually resemble their wild ancestors. So this is the Egyptian Mau, and that is the Toygar, which I guess it's named after the tiger. Some of their other characteristics are their hunting skills, their sneakiness, and their secret superpowers, which allow them to have 9 lives. And according to National Geographic, they're nocturnal hunters, thanks to their light-reflecting eyes, so they can see when it's pitch black. And they have actually very astounding hearing, so they can detect the mouse when we wouldn't be able to tell that it's there. And actually, cats in that aspect are the opposite of dogs, because while a dog will let you sleep at night, a cat will make all the noise that keeps you awake. So when and actually I found this over the summer, when you're sleeping with a cat, you might want to keep the door open, otherwise it will make you be up at 2 in the morning. Their hearing, they have a highly developed inner ear, which, like I already said, that's where their amazing hearing comes from. And they actually have a great vestibular sense, which is the sense of balance. So the whole 9 lives myth is it's not true, because whenever they fall from high stories, they just land on 4 paws, and they always land perfectly. And also, finally, cats are carnivores, so they, according to National Geographic, they have very rough tongues that help them in hunting and grooming themselves. And the reason why it's good for them to have a rough tongue is that if you try to give a cat a bath, it might not turn out too well. So far we've talked about the history and how they became domesticated and their physical characteristics. But what about cats in our life today? Well, according to the Humane Society of the United States, around 33% of households have cats, and of those 33%, around 52% have more than one. So overall, the cat population is 86.4 million. And according to an article in the Scientific American magazine by Carlos A. Driscoll, Julie Clutton-Brock, Andrew C. Kitchener, and Stephen J. O'Brien, it was a really long article, but basically what it said is that cats contribute virtually nothing to our society today, except for occasional hunting, which according to USA Today, around 30% of them do. So you might ask, why do people keep cats? Well, they're relatively inexpensive because according to Cat World, the average weekly cost of keeping a cat is about $22, which is less than going out to dinner to Olive Garden. And well, they're very family friendly because if you want them to, they can stay out of the way and they don't bark. So if you have babies, they don't keep you up at night. This is one of the downsides of having a cat, though. So I hope that after today you will have gained a better understanding of cats, and they're adorable creatures, and as long as one doesn't have an allergy, they can be almost anybody's companion. And their history and evolution, their physical characteristics, and the way they've acclimated into our society today make them all fascinating. Thank you.